Not played.
I'm Scotty. Right, we've got an intro video.
Do you want me to try again?
No, we're live now. We're not trying again now.
We've got a really nice intro video that Scotty and Motty made for us. But unfortunately, I like to say gremlins in the machine, but our
Gremlin
producer
behind the
James Young...
It's just not done it. I went on opening video, pressed cut, and it just went to you.
It's not there, unfortunately, because James didn't play it. But next time, we will play it. How are you, Scotty? You all right?
Yes.
Sorry,
yes.
I'm Motty. That's Scotty. This is Scotty Motty. You can also hear the dulcet tones of James Young, who's producing for us.
Yeah, I'm very good. And thank you, everybody who's watching. And apologies that you didn't get to watch our fantastic intro. You'll be able to catch that on another show, I'm sure. And if you are watching, can you make sure you're subscribing and liking if you aren't already? We are nearly 6,000 subscribers. So thank you, everybody that's been supporting the channel so far. And obviously today, we're going to have nothing at all to talk about because it's been like one of the quietest weekends we've had since doing Scotty and Motty. Nothing of note, really, was there?
No, absolutely nothing. Football-wise, absolutely nothing.
What did you do with yourself yesterday?
Just sat in the car for about 9 hours.
Really?
Yeah,
was that a long drive?
Yeah. Because we on the channel we had a giveaway for a couple of Bods from Fair Share, you know, the charity. So I drove down them and my missus came with me as well. She had a ticket and the lad who was filming some stuff for us. So we set off about, not that early, about 7:30. Got there in pretty decent time, to be fair. Stopped off for a brew on the way. Got there for about 1ish. And then on the way back, we waited because we're in the car park. We're parked right in the middle of
getting out.
Yeah, so we're parked right in the middle of Wembley. And then on the way back, so waited till that to die down. But it's like any journey in football, whether it's from Old Trafford or, you know, from Wembley or wherever. If you've won, you're all right, aren't you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I think me and you would talk about this after the Bournemouth game. I was saying like we were stuck in traffic. I mean, missus was just yapping and chilled and happy.
You're in a good mood, man.
Yeah.
And then yesterday should have been the best car journey home. Even you could have put James Corden in that car and you'd have been.
Do you know what we were talking about, James Corden? It's funny because he came up his name on the way down there because he's hated, innit? Now, me and you, I remember one of our many Twitter arguments we've had over the years. I praised him once, and you were having none of it, and you were like disappointed. I think you used the words, "I'm not angry with you, I'm disappointed."
Yeah.
Because I said something like, "Oh, I think he's funny in Gavin and Stacey," and you're like, "No, he's not. He's the Antichrist." Or words to that effect.
More or less, yeah. I mean, it was close to ending our 20-year friendship.
It was, wasn't it? I mean, it's quite ironic that would be the straw that breaks the camel's back. My fondness for James Young. James Young. No fondness for him after his performance so far. Say hello, James. Anyway, don't hide in the corner. Hey, are you all right?
No, I'm good, yeah. It's just, I'm last time I was given a mic, all the comments were saying shut up, so I'm not saying as much this time.
Right, well, I think we should definitely listen to the people who watch the show. But anyway, we are Carabao Cup champions 2023. I'll just let you...
I'm sorry. I've got a mic, but last time I had one, I got told to shut up, so I'm not using it. Right, thanks for that. Right, okay. Oh, what's to do with that?
Cutting deep, that one, isn't it?
I've never met anyone like James Young. Yeah, we are the official Carabao Cup champions. It was great yesterday. Do you know what as well? I was saying this to Joe on the podcast earlier. I was a bit nervous, but you know what? For some reason, made me know we were going to win. When I got into Wembley, and it was a good sort of 20 minutes before kick-off or something, or maybe 15 minutes before kick-off. And I saw the Geordies with the flags and everything, waving them, like packed out raving, you know what I mean? Like, they're well early and everything. Like, I thought, we'll do these today.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I thought, they're going to lose. You know what I mean? I just felt like that. Like, maybe it was the occasion was a bit, it built it up so big.
It felt like a huge day out for them, whereas...
They're all in fucking Trafalgar Square. It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Find a pub. Why are you stood in a fucking square? Like, it's embarrassing.
I disagree with that.
I kind of right. One thing I am against, and I'll be honest with you, is a little bit of almost like the fun police. Like, I wouldn't go down to Trafalgar Square the day before a cup final, but I've not waited 25 years or 24 years for a cup final. So who are we to judge? And let's face facts, right? life can be grim. Times are hard. All the cliches are coming out, but they are. And if you want to go make the most of something, more power to you.
Yeah, why not?
Do you know what I mean?
No,
And it's not like they were smashing the gaff up. Like, I wouldn't have done it. And I'm not saying, I'd have been with him, splashing through Trafalgar Square, but that didn't really bother me. And when I saw the flags and everything, I thought, I think there's too much on him here. There's too
yeah. And it felt like it was their day out, really, didn't it? Like a big day out for them. Like had an ages where I think United took it a bit more. This is business,
Yes,
we're going
that's what
down.
I was saying earlier. Matter of factly, like.
Yeah. We're going down to do a job.
Yeah, get it done. And maybe that sort of showed. And also, pressure and attention and all that stuff is the last thing that goalkeeper needed, Loris Karius. And he got more of it, didn't he? And it was just like, I just thought, I think we'll be all right today. And it wasn't even that great a performance by United standards this season.
Not at all, not really.
You were on the watch along, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, Joe McGrath, I couldn't believe how nervous he was. It's the most confident I can remember actually going into an FA Cup, a Carabao Cup final, or any cup final, and thinking that United are going to win it. I thought we were going to be up 4-0.
Yeah.
I just wasn't, I didn't think they had anything in them to score. They've not been playing great recently. They're a good team collectively, but the class of Man United players, we've actually got world-class players, whereas they haven't, and the amount of people that could change games. Casemiro is just an absolute gladiator of a footballer.
It's weird, isn't it? It's because it's like, now, I feel like there's like an insurance policy when you've got Casemiro there, and it's a bit like that with Rashford. When we got that first one, I think one of the lads next to me, he said, we've still got Rashford's goal to come yet.
Yeah.
And it almost felt, well, he's going to score in it. And then the whole thing of, we've got a 2-goal cushion, we've got Casemiro, we're not giving that away. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to, I know that sounds a bit arrogant, but you did feel confident, don't you?
Yeah, like, because in the past, there's been like question marks. And if you look at the games prior to the final where we've gone one down, if you look at Barcelona on the Thursday previously, I think we've gone down at Leeds as well, a goal down. We always have that belief that we can come back and get back into a game. Yeah. And there's just so many of the United players this season have just sort of either excelled what they've done previously, or the new players that have come into the club have just cemented why we signed them in the first place. We got to look all the way through the likes of Martinez, Casemiro, just phenomenal. Varane and Martinez, that relationship. And then the bond that the players have with Ten Hag, it was nice for him. And he was getting ridiculed across some stupid tin pot radio station today for actually celebrating about...
Really?
Yeah.
Today?
Yeah.
They've been at it again?
Yeah, so sort of saying that it was a little bit embarrassing. I think it was Piers Morgan that said, have I just seen the Man United manager dancing to with two players after winning the Carabao Cup? It's just embarrassing.
Do you think Piers Morgan's annoyed the fact that he, in a perverse way, kind of helped facilitate some of this?
Yeah, maybe.
Because he was getting stick the other day on Twitter when he did that thing of like, when you react and you're trying to sell people you're not bothered, but you show them you are.
Yeah.
Like, all you United fans in my mentions saying that I've helped to do this because Ronaldo left because of my interview and that's what's made the team better. In the last 10 years, Ronaldo's won 4 Champions Leagues, 4 Ballon d'Ors, 3... And you think, what's that got to do with anything now? Do you know what I mean?
Just shut up, man. If you're not arsed, just ignore it. And
so loads of United fans have been giving him grief because it's like, well, that interview, move Ronaldo out the door and listen, Ronaldo's been a great player for United, but this season, it was probably a season too far. That's helped the team, and Erik Ten Hag's got one less headache to deal with. You've seen what's happened since Ronaldo's left. We've been flying, and now winning trophies. And again, it goes into what we were talking about then with the Trafalgar Square thing. I haven't got a problem with people celebrating wins and enjoying things. Do you know what I mean? And Erik Ten Hag's just won his first trophy at Manchester United. We've won our first trophy in just under 6 years. It was a great day out. It was, there's players there. I mean, listen, Raphael Varane has won 4 Champions Leagues, 3 La Ligas, the Nations League, and a World Cup. And he was celebrating like no one's business.
Casemiro as well.
Yeah, Casemiro, 5 Champions Leagues.
And you've never seen a smile on a man's face as big.
Lisandro Martinez won the World Cup 2 months ago, and he was buzzing.
It's just pathetic, and he just seems of pettiness and jealousy to an extent as well. And I think we've mentioned it so much on this podcast, but also on Stretford Paddock, about how pundits seem, for me, it seems like they've got a fear in them about United on the rise. And I put a tweet out about that today because it very much seems like we are. And people may think I'm getting ahead of myself because it's just the Carabao Cup. It's just Manchester United's Carabao Cup. And I have every belief that Manchester United will win the league within the next 3 years under Erik Ten Hag, if not sooner. And if we get investment and buy a good striker in the summer, I think Manchester United in 2024 could pick up the Champions League.
Sky, you know what? You disappoint me.
Why?
How many years did you say for the league?
Within 3.
Within 3?
Yeah.
I'll be devastated if it takes us 3 years to win this league.
Really? Yeah. We're back.
Do you know what I did, right? I tried to do one of those, you know, the Premier League predictors, where you do the results for like now until the end of the season. And now, the trouble with that is, you can't help yourself because you have that little thing in your brain that you subconsciously is pushing you towards certain results that probably aren't as realistic as they should be.
Yeah.
So it's like, United at Anfield, yeah, we'll do them. Do you know what I mean? Arsenal at home to Southampton, they'll struggle that one. City, you've got Villa. Yeah, that's a tricky one, that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I had us winning the league.
Although, possibilities.
Yeah, Joe Smith did it. And he did it a different way to me, but he had us winning the league as well. But it was the same sort of thing, where you go, you know what, Fulham are in a bit of form. I think they might take some points off City. And then when we've got them, it's like, we'll do them. Yeah.
Like, every game's a walk in the park, isn't it? It's not about United being unable to win all their remaining games. It's out where the others will fall.
That's the thing, innit? Because I think I was chatting to Steve after the game yesterday, and he was saying, like, the maths ain't mathing. He was worried, like, he was saying about Arsenal, because I think is it, what, they 8 points ahead of us? Or whatever it is, I need to double check. But he was saying he didn't know if it was going to quite add up, you know, for us this time round. Now, I get where you're coming from, obviously, because, yeah, they're 8 points ahead of us, both play the same number of games. City are 5 points ahead of us, 6 points ahead of us, having played one game more. So, obviously, if we win our game in hand, we can go to 3 points behind them. Now, you look at it and you go, City are in a title race. We're 3 points behind them. So,
yeah,
surely we are. And then you think of things like 8 points in April when we lost it, unfortunately, you know, in 2012, or that time when we were, 12 points behind Newcastle, or when we were 10 points ahead of Arsenal in 98, or whatever it was. So it's been done. It's just the one thing that, ironically, may do us is not just the fact we had a bit of a false start as well, but because we've got so many games, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then United lost to Wigan and Everton, and drew with Everton, didn't they, in the last few games under Ferguson in 2012?
That's what I said, 8 points in April. We threw it away, like, do we...
Yeah,
it does happen,
possible.
that's what I mean, that's what I'm getting at.
And that Arsenal and City have still got to play each other. If you see City taking 3 points off Arsenal...
I think that's the one thing where...
Then
if
it's only 5 points.
Yeah,
if Arsenal win that,
then I think you're probably going to go, okay, that's Romeo done. Especially at the Etihad. Because that, not only is that a massive statement, it's also, it moves them 11 points ahead of us, which is pretty much insurmountable with...
Well, it'd only be 8 points ahead of us.
Well, they're 8 points ahead of us now.
Yeah, but if they beat City, then we win. They're still...
Oh, yeah, that's true. Sorry, sorry.
And they have got a tough run in Arsenal.
What year was it as well when Gallas was crying on the pitch? They had a big lead that year as well over United. Was that 08?
That was 08. That weren't as bad. It was worse in 03. They had a bigger lead, but they dropped a few...
Drew with Leeds, didn't they?
Yeah, they lost to Leeds on the final day, which is what gave it us. But if you remember, like when Benitez did his facts thing, they were at the top of the table when he did that, and then they drew the next 3 games.
Yeah.
And we went top and we never looked back. So it's easy. Let me get into some of the...
Get the comments, man.
Comments, because there's loads of people commenting.
Everyone looks happy.
Ethan was getting grief for that video not playing at the beginning, but that wasn't his. Just to clarify that.
We'll try and play it for the outro.
Yeah. Just loads of people commenting. Matt Bragger says, did the same as you, Jane. Drove down at 7:30 and then got the tube from Stratford to Wembley. Got home at 1 a.m. and died in work today from tiredness. I'd do it all over again in a heartbeat. Yeah, I was outside Old Trafford at 8:30 this morning. I was feeling... But I had to go and do the school run first because Miss had a flat tire as well, so it was all happening.
Did you get any sleep on Saturday night?
A little bit, yeah.
Right, because I've made the mistake of going out on Saturday. I didn't get back in until about 3:30, and then woke up 2 hours later, and then had to get a bus to Eccles, and then got picked up on a motorway slip road.
All right, okay.
What motorway slip road? Where in Eccles?
Yeah.
Right near the M602. Yeah, near that. Well, you're looking fresh as a daisy after all that, anyway. Jack Man United says Jay summed that up perfectly. Ha 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 ha. Anthony Jarvis said, Jay, what Steve was saying is he thinks we beat City in the league and City will beat Arsenal, but we won't beat Arsenal. That's why it's not mathing, lol. Right, well, We don't play about it. I think I know what you mean. Miles says Arsenal bottled it last year for 4th in 2004, 2008, 2011 and 2014. It's in their DNA. We might not win it, but neither are Arsenal, in my opinion.
Would you rather Arsenal or Man City win the league?
This. Would you rather? I'd rather Arsenal win it.
Than City, really?
Yeah, 100%, bro. 100%. For a multitude of reasons. 1, 3 in a row. It's quite special, isn't it? 2, I don't physically see as many Arsenal fans as City fans. Like, Arsenal's just online, innit, really. Other than now and again, like, Joel Bayer or someone might pop in the studio just because he works with Stay. I don't think I know any Arsenal fans who I actually see face to face. And you know what I mean? Whereas City fans, you go out. Do you remember 2012? You went out and it was just, all of a sudden, it was like we're in the middle of Stockport, wasn't it? So, yeah, for me, I can stomach it. And also, with them not doing it this year, I think it'd be quite funny if they bought Haaland and
they're not. Yeah, I agree.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What about yourself?
No, I'd want Arsenal to win over Man City.
Yeah.
And Arsenal have never really, even during the time with Wenger and stuff, I tend to have a soft spot for Arsenal under Wenger. Yeah, the football that he played when I had a mutual respect.
Yeah, you're quite a purist in some respects, aren't you? Like your style of football and stuff like that, where I'm just not. I'm just like, win.
give me the points.
I just have to pretend sometimes I'm bothered about the style when people start losing out.
All right, well, I'm going to pull you on that fucking point you just made there. Yeah. Van Gaal.
No, that's different. Go on. I don't mind the style if we're winning. I don't mind winning the FA Cup.
All right, yeah.
We weren't winning in the league. We finished 6th that season, bro. And I'll tell you now, 1-0 at home to Southampton, 2-1 at home to Norwich. Was it
West Brom?
West Brom. There was the Bournemouth game, the Stoke game. There was no goals, Scotty, right? I don't mind styles as long as we're getting goals and winning. There was no goals at my end of the ground for 3 months.
Yeah.
Like, the only goal I saw for 3 months? A Kyle Walker own goal on opening day. Honestly, I've never seen anything like it. I remember...
Swansea.
Sorry?
Swansea.
I'm sorry?
I said Swansea under Van Gaal.
No, that was his first season, wasn't it, when we lost in the opening day?
It was still the same crap, wasn't it? Remember, we were on pre-season.
Big question there.
And United beat like Inter Milan and Real Madrid.
Shut up, James. You ain't got a mic for a reason. You're fucking talking far too much for someone who said he didn't want to talk anymore. If you want to tell me...
He started talking over you.
Yeah, well, par for the course. He's supposed to be coming on the BBC with me later on, but he fucking might have to find a super sub. Great question there. Favourite services?
Oh, that is Burton Wood. Is it Burton Wood?
Burton Wood?
Is it Burton Wood or where was the one where he scored Raven?
Keele. I like Keele services.
No, Keele was poor last night.
Fucking shit, James Young, shut up.
Right, Burton Wood services. I thought it was back in the day when we scored Raven.
The Raven.
Yeah.
I was the same. Keele on the way back from Stoke when we used to go down to Connecticut.
Connecticut, yeah. Oh, Connecticut. I never went there.
Yeah, drum and bass.
Ah, right, okay.
There was nothing open at Keele last night. Right? I got there at 10. No Burger King, Subway, all closed. Pathetic. Service station. Sort yourself out. It's the whole bloody point.
Listen, I don't blame him for shutting up shop. They've had loads of football fans coming in. He probably needed to keep himself safe. Samuel says Swansea. He keeps saying it. Up the junction.
Swansea services.
Daniel Gray says, love the motorway chat, lads. So yours is Keele.
Keele, that's my favourite.
You don't like Keele. Have you got a favourite?
Yes. What's the Lake District one that's like dead posh that's really nice?
Just before Kendall.
It's got like a programme about it, like the Lake District Farm Shop. I've forgotten what it's called now.
How can it be your favourite if you don't know its name?
Yeah, that's nonsense. That.
Hey. Oh, my favourite. I don't know what it's called, but it's my favourite.
And I don't think I think you don't get an opinion anyway. Can you drive, James?
Hang on.
No, can you drive, James?
T-Bay. It's T-Bay services.
Can you drive, James?
No.
Right, it's null and void with your opinion.
It's not, because I've still been in cars even though I can't drive.
No,
that's not how it works.
Less is your opinion.
That's like saying you can't drive a bus, or have you been on one? No. Train driver, no, you've never been on a train.
Someone's feeling cocky, ain't it, after he snuck into Wembley yesterday? I'll blow your shit up in a minute, sunshine.
I'll tell you what, this is a great advert for your radio show later. I will be listening. I'm not even lying.
Farm shop services. What's he saying there?
Farm shop services. Yeah, let us know your favourite service stations. Don't forget to hit like as well.
Podcast descended into.
It's actually
You asked the question, Daniel.
Did he do that? Daniel Gray?
No question.
Daniel Gray, yeah, he stitched us up there, hasn't he?
Were you a fan of David Gray? I didn't mind him. He's big Manchester musicians.
Is he Manc?
He's from Sale.
I thought he was from Leeds.
No, he's from Sale, David Gray.
Is it?
Huh?
Jesus, Weps.
White Ladder album.
Yeah.
He was like the male dildo then, Dido. They're very much that sort of lounge music, weren't they? Of the early.
Do you know what he did? He was he came. He was around for ages, wasn't he? And he
only got big with that White Ladder. Babylon on it.
Yeah, and he had like a back catalogue, didn't he? That was really good. I liked Babylon and
Sail Away.
This Year's Love, is it?
This Year's Love, yeah.
Is it Please Forgive Me as well? Yeah. I mean, I thought it was decent.
It was alright.
Could stick the album on and listen to it all the way through. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was alright. Well, at least sounds like an insult. It sounds like I'm damning with faint praise, but inoffensive.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. You know what I mean? Bang it on. It's alright.
That's probably the worst compliment.
It is horrible, like it. I feel bad for saying.
File them alongside Lighthouse Family.
Yeah.
Do you know, it's very much so, isn't it? Jamie Cullum.
Yeah. Good shout. Yeah.
Katie Malua.
Yeah. Because you're veering, aren't you? You're teetering on the edge of beige.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're
Shoe shop music.
You're like, yeah. Do you know what I mean? You are 2 steps away from being an asthma.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, be careful. What's your most inoffensive artist, James?
What, that I like? Or just...
An artist that's inoffensive to you? It's
like
fairly
Michael Bublé,
self-explanatory.
George
Michael
Ezra.
Bublé, yeah, that's
Michael Bublé.
He ends up in there.
Yeah, he's all right. He's Mr. Christmas. isn't
Ezra, he's bland, isn't he?
George
No,
Ezra.
he's annoying though. He's not inoffensive. George Ezra.
Is he the Budapest dude?
Yeah, Shotgun and Crocodile or whatever it was.
Yeah, my lad went through a phase of being obsessed with
Yeah,
that.
so one of my daughters, and I was like...
And it was, you know, at first when
You'd be driving the bus in a minute.
I was like, yeah, this is quite cute because he's only young. He's about 3 years ago. He's about 4 or whatever. And then after a while, it's doing me head in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's always the way with kids, isn't it? When they start singing and that, like, it's all, he starts singing.
Yeah, my youngest are banging to the Matilda soundtrack. It's in a new Matilda
Yeah, I
film.
went cinema to
Good,
see
innit?
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah,
I enjoyed it. So they love the Matilda soundtracks. That's always in the car. But my eldest has got she's got a cracking taste in music.
That's shit.
Yeah, from everything from like there. She loves like Lana Del Rey to Oasis to the Beatles. So yeah. I've not met her dad, but I imagine.
I made a mistake. I remember once in the car, my eldest went, put H on. I got about 2 lines out into it, and I'd turn that right off because it was like, whoa, you cannot be listening to any of that.
I used to
the most dad moment of my life.
Drive to school just blasting Damian Marley because I couldn't be asked. I couldn't be asked with doing the schoolyard chat. So I used to drive up blasting reggae, hard reggae, and then no one was.
You've got a great system, haven't you, in the school run? No, you don't chat to people, do you?
Not really. I turn up either really late or really late to let the last.
I think that's important.
And it's nothing against them.
No,
it's just it's like in elevators. If you have to get in an elevator and you're going up a few floors and someone else is going to get in there, I'll hang around for a spare elevator.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Small talk.
I think the school run can be a minefield. It can be horrible, and like you can get into that thing of it's either small talk or it's dramas. There's dramas going on there in the school. Like, have you heard what she's been doing? Have you heard about her? Yeah, I'm telling you what. She better keep her fucking nose out of it. What? What are you on about? Do you know what I mean? It can be like proper on top. So I'm with you. When I don't do the school very often, but when I do, I'm in and out.
Yeah.
Drop the kids off.
Try to be quite militant. I'm always in a rush.
Yeah. Or I'm on my phone.
Yeah.
Like, I'm shouting on my phone like, hang on a minute, yeah.
What's this? Where you go back for the S Club 7 reunion?
Will you go back to the S Club 7 reunion?
The S Club are reuniting, aren't they? S Club 7.
Are they?
Yeah, Reach for the Stars.
How old are they now? They are age?
Roughly must be, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the dance moves are going to be.
They were.
You know who started following me actually, who's a musician? It's quite interesting compared to some of the stuff we talk about. Kavanagh. Do you remember Kavanagh?
I Can Make You Feel Good.
I Can Make You Feel Good.
That is a banger.
He started following me a few weeks ago on Twitter, and I couldn't work out what it was about.
You get some follows, you.
I've got a decent selection, from Richard Osman to Deborah Meaden.
Deborah Meaden.
Yeah, follows me.
Hey.
Yeah. Anyway, but he's just done a year sober.
Oh, was it?
So I think he's come across some of our stuff that we were talking
right.
about. So well
Congratulations, Kavanagh.
Kavanagh, yeah.
Who's your most famous follower, James? Don't say J. Motty.
I'll have a look.
I'll have a look.
Hey, who would you say is your most famous person that follows you?
Probably Chuck D.
That is elite. Like, you've proper smashed that.
Probably Chuck
That
D.
is, yeah. You can't get much bigger than that. Like, I've got some big ones, but it's a technicality.
Yeah.
Like John Cena follows me, but he follows.
I've heard it, yeah.
He follows 551,000 other people.
Yeah,
so
Pete
he's
Doherty
not-
retweeted my tweet of the weekend, which
That's
was pretty,
good. That's
pretty
good.
cool about. I was a big fan of Pete Doherty.
Yeah, he smashed it, didn't he? Like,
Yeah,
like, in more ways than one. He was.
No, but he's done well as well. Like a lot of people were taking a piss out of his appearance on the last leg. Did you see it? His appearance on Channel 4.
I'm not. Can I shock you, Scotty?
Well,
I'm not a massive fan of Last Leg.
no, I've watched it.
I just find it a bit.
It's like, you know what it's like?
Go on.
It's like the David Gray of TV.
Yeah, it's
You know,
inoffensive,
it's like
and it's
that,
like,
yeah.
oh, aren't the stories rubbish? And in it, naff being skin, and like,
For Channel 4, that's quite disappointing as well.
Yeah, it's not
You
really.
expect them to be quite cutting edge.
Yeah, and it's not, is it? It's
No,
proper
no.
like it's obvious things. And don't get me wrong, I know it's it's relatively light entertainment. I'm not expecting them to start dropping F-bombs.
But Channel 4 was the one for satire, and was the stuff like Brass Eye. That was the sort of comedy that Channel 4
when I was a kid, it was
built
like
on.
that one as well. Like when
Drop the Dead Donkey and stuff like that.
And you had people like Alexis Sale and Ben Elton when you had some. I know he's probably gone the other way now, but it was quite like raw.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? When I
yeah.
was a kid.
Someone's disagreeing.
King
Oh,
Dino.
Daniel Gray saying something.
The
again.
Last Leg is pretty good. Daniel Gray says the Last Leg classic TV by any committee. Oh, by committee, always seems like 30 different people have had input. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
I get that.
It feels just a bit like a watered down version. Like the 11 o'clock show.
Yeah.
Seems like they're trying to do the same sort of thing, but they don't really want to offend anyone. So the jokes are a bit more bland.
Yeah.
But Pete Doherty was on it anyway, and he did a cover of "Dirty Old Town," and then sang the last verse in Ukrainian as a message to sort of the Ukrainian people. Obviously,
That's
on the
impressive, isn't it?
anniversary. So that's why I put a tweet out and just saying, a lot of people saying, "Oh, he's put some weight on." I said, "Well, he's like he's being sort of sober, like he stopped on all the drugs and stuff like that."
Because he's had a heroin addiction for a long time.
Yeah, and obviously the press vilified and it was well documented and stuff like that. And I actually put an invite to him out on social media, said if you want to come on and talk about, because I think someone with that pedestal that's been through in the spotlight, through had the addiction, to sort of show the journey would offer a lot of hope to a lot of other people.
It must be mad as well when you're in the middle of it like that and you're famous and you can get it all the time for now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I always wonder like that, like because.
Have you not? I know you're sober now, but did you never find when you start getting a little bit more of a public personality, like people recognising you? Do you ever get people offering you free drugs?
It's weird, right? And I like it. I get, and do you know what? I don't like this. I love it. I get more people coming up to me who relate to the fact I'm sober who will tell me their own story, and they'll say things like, "Oh, Jay." Well, I noticed it a few times in Australia, like, oh, well done on you. At the time, I think it was 7 years, like, well done, I'm, 2 months or whatever off certain drugs, or I've done this, or I mean, not all the time, but it's always good to hear that. So I think people know, like, now, if they know me, if they watch me, because on the main channel on Paddock,
they know not to come forward to you.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember last time I got offered something. I think last time I got offered something. It might have been at the FA Cup final in 2016. And I wasn't really doing this as much then.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It might have been more recent. Santa Notch says, you mean Pete Doherty of the Libertines who supported my band? Now, I don't know if you're being true there, Notch, or if that's a...
No, they did.
David Brent, but James Young says they did. What's going on here?
Because I had a short-lived podcast and I had Santa Notch on it, and he told that story on there.
What was your short-lived podcast called?
It was called Out of Control. It was a Premier League Years podcast. So I'd watched an episode of Premier League Years and took the piss out of it, basically, with a guest.
Oh, that actually sounds quite entertaining.
You were on it. You were on it.
I was on it.
Yeah. So obviously,
You were the last show. You were,
Did I
the one that killed it.
torpedo your podcast, James? Forgive me. Right, can I just say two things? One, it does sound good, and I vaguely remember doing a podcast with you. I'm not being rude. My memory is shocking.
We should steal that idea.
And I honestly, you know, and me and you are mates, obviously, but I do so many different podcasts all the time, and I always do podcasts with people who like starting out or have got a smaller podcast.
Yeah, you're very charitable with your time.
I'm just grateful that people want to wear my...
Your missus and kids are sick of it. Like
She's
they
here,
can't
my
get an
missus in the
audience.
chat now, JJ.
I was talking to your missus today, actually.
What were you saying to me?
We'll talk about merch.
Merch?
Bringing the Scotty and Motty t-shirts out and mugs.
She loves a
and
bit
stuff.
of merch, my missus. She's
So, we
design and shine.
discussing
If you ever
She
need
said
anything.
your business acumen is absolute shite, so she's glad that I'm taking charge of that stuff.
She is right on that front.
She didn't
right?
say that at all. I'm fond of
Because
her.
my business acumen is terrible. To be fair, neither of me or you have shone at doing this in terms of business acumen.
This show.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
no.
We've not. We like didn't monetize it for about 6 months.
Yeah, I think only today we've started doing something about it. But yeah, I mean, and it wasn't about that. We're here for you. We're here for the people.
The only reason we've started
yeah.
monetizing it like we thought we should do is because we actually have to pay for certain things now, and this is all meant to be like, you know, fun, and we enjoy it, and we do. Someone messaged me on Facebook.
Can't believe my joke was missed.
Who was it? Samuel. Hang on a minute, Samuel. We don't miss jokes on this. Right, yeah. I've got it. I found it. Samuel says, I asked Elton John if $1 Million Baby is his favourite boxing film. He said, oh, no. No. I'm a Rocky man. I can't believe that you made us go back and find it, if I'm being brutally honest. But it was a good dad joke,
Yeah.
so I'll let you off. Paul Jones says, Scotty, we need some merch with big red sexy boys.
That was
on
me
it.
and Joe McGrath come up with a chant for United. Big red sexy boys. And,
like
and
that.
Joe McGrath said that was an Irish accent, and him being of Irish stock that sounds like Borat, doesn't it?
I thought you were doing a Dutch accent.
Yeah.
Were you?
No.
Intentionally?
I was
What
doing,
is it?
I was doing a
Do you
Joe
have an
McGrath-
accent
I
that
was
you
doing,
do?
I was doing McGraw. No, we've discussed this. My Geordie sounds Jamaican.
I don't like doing accents because I feel like
You do a very good Al Pacino. Your Al Pacino's very good.
I can do like Al Pacino.
Go
on. No, because now I'm under pressure. And
Oh, you got to do it now. She had a great ass.
Because she got a great ass, and you got your head all the way up it. That kind of went into Willis out of Different Strokes there.
What you talking about, Willis?
Yeah, don't know what happened then. But no, I don't like doing like places, you know, like, oh, here's an Irish accent or a Geordie accent because I'm bad at them, and then I feel like, and also when I hear people do Manc accents,
Oh, it's always terrible. It's like since James has moved from Wales to Manchester and this Manc accent that he keeps trying to put on.
Have you got a Manc accent?
what? No, not at all.
Fucking,
So pissed off with that.
he's drier than Rivita, him, innit?
Mate, I remember James, right? He makes us laugh. He used to send us score predictions or reactions, and like, he was only about 16, 17. And I've never met a kid who was 16, 17, so annoyed all the time. Like, just so angry. But not in a ranty way. He never ranted. Because people used to send us things and he'd just be ranting and shouting, but he'd be just fuming. Like, just exuding anger.
Yeah.
But not, none of that, because that just is a turn off. But like, just fucking pathetic. Just, you know, like,
really
fucking
articulating
shit,
anger,
as usual. Yeah. But like, yeah, articulate it really well. Fuming at the age of 16 that United are fucking not good
And it's
enough.
all in that monotone voice as well.
And I
Isn't it?
loved
There's
it.
no animation.
And I
with
was
him.
like, this kid, he's going to go far. And now he's got his own show.
I mean,
with,
this is
David
actually,
Scott.
this is my real voice, but no one can understand what I'm saying, like, so I change it. I actually talk like this when I'm in Cardiff.
See, that's scary. That.
Yeah.
That sounds like you're putting that on. It does.
What does that say? People do fake Manc accents always sound like... What's
A car reversing.
car reversing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kid. That's what people try and say all the time, innit?
Yeah. Mad for it. All that sort of high-pitched nasally.
Yeah, it is. Right, let's get down to the question that we've not addressed yet. You said 3 years, didn't you, for a title?
Within 3 years.
Within 3 years.
3 years. I reckon we fuck him off if we don't win it in 3 years.
Really?
Yeah, he's good enough now. He's set the stall out, hasn't
Right, okay.
Casemiro's 30, isn't he?
Yeah.
Varane's 28.
He's 30 till he's 31. Do you know?
Right, yeah, I know
fractions
that.
work.
And then, so we've only got a certain amount of lifespan with these players. So clock's ticking now, Big Erik. Sort it out. I think if we get a good striker, I don't fear anyone within the Premier League or in Europe that's better than that 11, our strongest 11 for Manchester United. I don't.
I think there's 2 questions that we rely on. You're right. One is fit, like keeping certain players. If Casemiro stays fit next season, whatever, yep. If we get a striker in who carries some of the weight, or Marcus carries on scoring goals, then we're laughing. Because I feel as long as you've got a goal in you a game from wherever, with this team, you've got a good chance of winning a football match. Do you know what I mean? Because I know our defence hasn't been great over the course of the season, but recently it's much better because we've got Martinez, Varane, Casemiro in front of him, and then Luke Shaw or Ian over.
Okay, Luke Shaw, man. You know, like his footballing IQ's gone through the roof. You know, some of his decision making, like 2 years ago. You know.
What do you make of Marcel Sabitzer?
He looked all right. I'm not completely blown away that I spent 25 mil.
Fred?
Well, Fred, no, nobody's as good as Fred.
Yeah.
Not even Casemiro's as good as Fred.
I bet you was fucking buzzing the other night, weren't you?
When they played Barcelona. Let me tell you how buzzing I was. I was in a glamping in Snowdonia watching that.
When you say glamping, was it proper glamping?
No.
Was it just camping?
No.
What was it?
It was like a shed.
A shed?
Yeah.
That's all right.
And I had a radiator in.
Well, that's my sort of camping.
Electricity in there and stuff.
So
and me and my 3 daughters, and then put the radiator on, and I woke up next morning because it was wood. Like the heat was kept in my eyes, like I've been in a sauna all fucking night.
Really?
Yeah. It was decent though, like. And then went crab fishing. You ever done that?
Yeah, I went there in Anglesey not long ago. Did all right actually. Yeah, but it's a bit of a.
I'm a better crab fisher than you. We should do that. That'd be good podcast content.
Crab fishing.
Scotty versus Motty in London.
Scotty versus Motty. Clandidno, as the Welsh say. And I deliver. Is that right?
Look at you pampering to the producer.
How did you say it?
Is it not Clandidno?
Clandidno, yeah.
I used to live near that.
It's not even got a C in it, James.
He knows what he's doing. Don't bite. Don't bite, James. You're better than that. Yeah, crab fishing, right, me and you, on the same pier together?
Yeah.
That's going to end up just...
Someone's going in the water.
And fighting and just one of us ends up dead.
I think we should do that live. We should do a live crab fishing show. We'll go back down to James Young's turf.
Yeah.
He used to live near
Where's a good crab fishing near you, James?
Barry Island.
Barry Island, that's where they filmed Gavin and Stacey, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about 10 minutes
there you
away.
go. You can not go knock one off because James Corden's been there.
Right, I just said James Corden and Gavin and Stacey was all right. I liked him as Smither. That was it. And you, went after me. Fucking one note, fucking acting. And I was like...
Have you seen Cats?
No. Why would I watch that?
Because you've got kids.
No, they've never actually tried to get me to watch that. They wanted to watch Matilda, which was fine. I stayed awake through the cinema. It was a
That's good
film.
for you.
It is good for me.
That's a review, that, isn't it? Did Jay stay awake?
No, because usually I took him to see so many different films.
You were there with Shrek?
Shrek. Oh, you saw me, didn't you? Shrek the musical.
I took you.
Oh, you took me.
You came. There was me.
Jesus,
your eldest.
Yeah.
My eldest.
Yeah.
And my mum. And my mum's elbowing me in my arm. She goes like that. And I'm looking down and your head's up catching fucking flies while Shrek's dancing on stage.
I've forgotten that Scotty actually took me, as he often does treat me. And also, I was on James Young's podcast. I tell you what.
I think Shrek was better than the podcast, to be fair.
Sorry. And I wouldn't mind, right? I really enjoyed Shrek. Lord Farquhar was hilarious on his knees with the feet set up and everything. Yeah, it's really good. I'm a nightmare. I go to the cinema, go to the theatre. I'd like to say it's some sort of medical condition like narcolepsy, but it's not.
No.
I think it's half the time because I'm a night owl. I stay up all night watching nonsense on telly. Barely sleep and then do my job and work. And then if I go out after work or whatever, I'm like...
strikes, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I even, me and our kid went to see the first Avatar. I fell asleep not for the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
One of the best films.
The second Avatar's terrible, though.
Did you not like it?
I didn't enjoy it.
I thought it was alright.
No, I fell asleep during that.
Really?
Yeah.
I did. I went to see it. It was alright.
I want to ask the people who are watching where they're from. Because we don't really do that, do we?
That's a good question. Where are you from?
Whereabouts are you from in the world and you're watching us?
Miss Man United said it was Bo Maris Pier we went to. Thank you for that, my lady friend. Oh, yeah.
Jacksonville, Florida.
Wow.
Jacksonville, Florida.
New York.
James.
Yeah.
Altered Shape says, Rochdale, it's a bit rubbish. No, it's not. Rochdale is where
Rochdale's got some exports.
dreams come true. Rochdale. Somewhere over the rainbow.
Somewhere over the M66.
I used to do a lot of reporting around Rochdale.
Yeah, there's a lot of all flying in.
It was interesting. Yeah, Iowa, Nantwich, Vancouver. What?
Is that Afrique du Sud? Where's that?
You are?
Someone just said Afrique.
Daniel Gray says, but bit boring Salford. Salford's never... Whereabouts in Salford, bro? Let me know.
Where's Afrique du Sud?
I'm
South
going to say
Africa.
Africa
Right.
South.
Yeah.
Somebody put Harrogate. That's supposed to be one of the happiest places in England, isn't it? Harrogate.
Really?
I think around there, Halifax and all that part. I think it's got an aging population, but for the happiest place in England is Harrogate. Apparently, I mean, I didn't get the name of the person from Harrogate. Are you happy?
Yeah. What's the most unhappy place? Do they know?
Sunderland.
Is it really?
It's the most unhappiest I've ever been in.
I think you're right. I think it's like let's do a Google top 10
We also got,
unhappy.
South Africa, James.
Right.
We've got someone from South Wales.
Oh.
Just off Ordsall Lane.
Nostar Define Poetic. This is from Pontycuma in South Wales.
Right. So they did a poll in 2022.
Tipperary Island. Now I got over to Ireland again this year.
Yes.
Not to Dublin, but just like I like the rural. Like my mum's family's from over in Mayo.
Oh right. Okay.
So County Mayo, all over the west coast.
Do you know what? This is really mad. The unhappiest place in the UK is actually where I was born.
Really?
Because despite
you were born down south.
Despite my dulcet Mancunian tones, I was born down south. I moved to Eccles when I was about 3 weeks old. And I was born in Colchester, and it's the most unhappy place in the UK.
Do you remember when they came up for that cup game and they all started
Yeah, it all
doing
kicked off.
Yeah.
Afterwards, Colchester, of all the times it kicks off with fan cams, it was with them.
Someone's saying Clayton, Manchester. I always get lost around North Manchester.
Clayton was one of those, right? And no disrespect to anyone who lives in Clayton, because I know when you live in an area, it's different for you. But when I was a reporter, there'd be certain areas when you got sent there, and I usually got sent there because there'd been an incident, like a shooting or a stabbing, like not just Clayton, like anywhere. It's like, Jade, there's been a shooting. Can you go and knock on some doors? And there's certain areas where you get there and you go, or you'd hear like, we're gonna send you, and you'd think, oh no.
Yeah.
Clayton was one of them. It was like they weren't always open to chatting to reporters around there, should we say?
Yeah.
You know, Moston was another one where you go around there, it'd be like.
But that area, like Moston and Clayton and all that, I like South. I grew up in South Manchester. North Manchester may as well have been a different city to me. I dipped over to your part of the world a little bit, but
because Clayton is more sort of like Openshaw, Clayton, all that way. It's east more, and then you've got Moston, Blakely, Harperay, and all those sort of areas. But yeah, I mean, when you're there, it's different for you, innit? Because you know, like. Well, I grew up in Partington, and people just said, you go to Partington, it's horrible, it was diving and all that, but when I was in it, I liked it.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's your town and you know everyone and all that sort of jazz. And I'm guessing it's the same for those sort of places. But when you visit it, especially when you're a reporter, people already got to back up because it's like, something bad's happened, like someone's been shot, and then you rock up.
And they got the stigma and stuff like that, don't they, as well? Because like that becomes what areas are known for.
Yeah.
So
well, you've spoke about it very well in your book as well.
Yeah, I was grew up alongside in South Manchester. You used to always get the stigma like, oh, it must be been a gang because he comes from South Manchester. And then enough shit sticks, doesn't it, unfortunately?
It does. Listen, we're going to wrap up there. I'm going to put a link into...
Hang on, someone's watching us from Japan, 4 o'clock in the morning. That's incredible.
What's the name? In Japan. That's a country I want to go to.
That is top of my list. Should we go?
Japan.
It was this person.
Kamikaze.
They like fish over there. We should do crab fishing in Japan.
Crab fishing in Japan.
So this lad here, he said Japan, but I live in Hong Kong, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
That's a great effort, that.
Yeah.
What's his name? I can't see.
Kamikaze TKA.
Well,
Yeah.
good morning to you.
Thanks a lot, Kamikaze TKA.
Thank you, everybody who's been watching. We're loving how many's getting involved in the chat, and I do go back and read through them and try and get in touch. And everybody that's been emailing, please make sure you're subscribing and watching and stuff like that. I can't believe people are watching from all over.
I had a message on Facebook as well. That someone who thanks us for our podcast about addiction. I won't name him because I don't know if he wants to be named.
Yeah.
So I'll just say,
But I think I got through all the emails of everybody who got in touch. So some of the stories were quite. They really opened up, and obviously we're not experts in anything like that. But if anyone does want and keep sending emails, we're like just two lads who will send any sort of advice or words of encouragement for what you're doing. Always, but
definitely.
Let's end it on a good note.
Yeah, well,
first cup of the season.
First cup of Bermuda. You're all over the world here. That's amazing.
International fam.
India, Kenya, everywhere.
India, Himalaya. Watching from lad. I used to live in the Himalayas in McLeod-Ganj in Dharamshala. That was one of my favourite places in the world.
Well travelled, this lad.
Yeah.
Hey, it's been all everywhere. Himalayas.
Fucking the snow, the hailstones that come off their mountains. Though, used to live in the Dalai Lama.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, good stuff, man. Miss Man United saying about when she took me to Earlham. Listen, thanks everyone got involved in the chat. I've put a link into our Patreon. There's extra content on Patreon.
Sorry.
No, go on.
Who would you top 3 targets for next summer? The striker from Napoli or Kane?
Yeah, Kane's a good one. Victor Osimhen. Yeah, either of those two I'd have. It'd be interesting to see what's going to happen with the goalkeeper situation, because I don't know whether he sees De Gea as his long-term option. De Gea fits into the style of play.
He's made a few mistakes as well.
Yeah, and I think De Gea is great. Great shot stopper and stuff. He obviously wants to do his thing of playing out the back. Ten Hag, and I don't know if De Gea is that guy for him. And I don't know whether he's going to go right in the summer, because obviously it wasn't a priority this season. We'll go with a different goalkeeper.
I think scoring goals is more of an issue than it is. I know we got Rashford, but somebody else alongside Rashford.
I think you're right, but I think there could be like both ends of the pitch.
Yeah, I like that. What are your targets? The league, Champions League, and FA Cup. Yes, and don't forget the Bangkok Super Duper Trophy.
Bangkok Super Cup.
So we could be winning a quintuple this year. But
That wouldn't it?
Subscribe,
Century Cup.
like.
Sorry.
I'm just gonna talk over James. He's been doing it to me all show. But thank you, producer James, for not car crashing the entire show. Do you reckon you can play the intro as the outro,
Yeah,
James?
can we have the intro
try
as the outro?
Right. Well, we'll say goodbye now.
All right.
Subscribe
Let's
and like.
see if this works.
No, it's not working.
Oh, well, we tried. We shall be back again next week, and hopefully we'll have an intro or a new producer. You take care and enjoy yourself. We'll see you very soon.